Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello, you ball bags. Welcome to another episode of The Film Blurs. I am Brandon Norwood, and
I'm Jeff Stewart.
And we are joined today by Matthew. Matthew, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Mattew Schuchman, Cinema Daily US, Overdue Rentals Podcast, Den a Geek, all those fun things. You can find me all over the place.
All right, I'm going to run
Thanks for having
through...
me again, guys.
Oh, no. Thank you for coming on.
Always a pleasure, man.
Before we run into Smurfs, I just want to give a shout out to the Clipse. They got back together again after 16 years and put out one of the best hip hop albums I've heard in a long ass time. Has me questioning, do I want to keep being a film critic or do I want to go fucking sell some fucking Colombian fish scale and get a go fast boat?
Always, if you have the option to sell Coke.
Yeah, that was not where I was expecting it to go. I thought you were just going to say, or be a music critic. But no, okay, I got it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm blown away that they can still rap this good. And I also did not know Pharrell had those type of beats in him.
Pharrell hasn't actually... I've liked Pharrell since he broke up with Chad Hugo. Yeah. And this is a great album. And also, like, I had the pleasure of seeing the Clipse live a couple of weeks ago, and they still got that energy, man.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get tickets for me and my brother to see Clipse because Earth Gang is opening, and Earth Gang is a really good underground alternative hip hop group. But like, nobody's rapping like the Clipse except for Kendrick. But that's too different. The Clipse, nobody's rapping like them. Just ignorant shit that has me laughing for an entire 40 minutes. All right. So the first movie we're going to get into is Smurfs. I went to go see this because me and Matt, we attended a press screening of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And before we get to that, I went to this just because I was like, fuck it. It's literally right beforehand and I could do both. And it's at the same fucking theater. They gave us like swag for this. I was like, oh, you guys are really trying to butter us up for this motherfucker. Like free popcorn, free candy, free soda. I'm gonna be real with you. I can't tell you. I don't remember the plot of this at all. Like, I could not tell you why the Smurfs were going on their village. I think Gargamel's brother invades their village and they end up going on this adventure. First Smurfs movie I've ever seen. I've never seen the previous three released by Sony. Paramount got this, and Paramount is very desperate for a hit because they acquired this and Angry Birds from Sony. So I don't know if it's this year or next year. We're getting Angry Birds 3 from Paramount. And I'm like, you guys...
Whoa. There was Angry Birds 2?
Yeah, there was a second one.
I didn't even know there was a first one.
Yeah, the first one I saw on Netflix. I remember that. Because that movie was a hit, and it was such a big hit, they got a second movie. But the second movie bricked because by the time the second movie came out, nobody gave a fuck about Angry Birds. So I find it funny that Paramount is taking Sony's sloppy seconds on shit that even they are just like, yeah, we don't. Why would we make another one?
I mean, I knew there was a first movie. I definitely knew there was a first movie. I did not know there was a second Angry Birds film, or maybe I did. And I just chose to forget. I don't know. Just forget.
Look, for whenever I don't like a kids movie, I'm always like, well, maybe the kids will like it. And I will tell you, during this press screening, there was a lot of kids and none of the kids were into it. They were bored as fuck. I was like, oh, cool. So we're all sitting here just bored out of our minds. All
Smurfs is a weird thing in general, though, because I mean, I remember loving Smurfs cartoons when I was a kid.
Right.
And then, of course, you grow up and everybody's like, oh, well, Smurfs is an allegory for communism and all this other stuff. I'm like, whatever it is, I don't care. But it's like, I just remember loving it. I don't know why I loved it as a kid, and I don't know who was showing it to me as a kid.
Yo, right. I'm in the same boat as you. I remember watching as a kid, and now as an adult, I'm just like, I have no fondness for it.
Like I fuck with the Snorks. I love the Snorks. But the Smurfs, I know that their names are based on their jobs, right? Is that how that works? I can't remember a goddamn
I guess
thing.
Papa Smurf is the Papa, and
there's
Smurfette
angry.
doesn't have a job title other than just being the woman.
Yeah, that has not changed. The best thing about this was the SpongeBob short before the actual movie, because it was like a silent short film. I was like, oh, that's entertaining. I like SpongeBob. It's a silent short film making fun of Squidward. It's hilarious. And then the movie started, and I'm literally struggling here. And I remember walking out feeling like this felt like it was made by a bunch of old people who are trying really hard to be cool, because there's so much lingo and modern music in this motherfucker where I'm just like, you guys feel so out of touch.
I'm just imagining like an actual child who came to the screen and coming out and like, these motherfuckers put in so much modern music. It's just like a 5-year-old with that idea of what you just said. I think that's
funny. It was in New York, so you never know.
This is true. This is true.
They do swear at the end of the movie.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they bleep it out though, because one of the Smurfs is like Michael Wilson from Police Academy. He's a sound effect guy. That's his job. Okay. Sound effects.
Sound effects Smurf.
Yeah, basically, because we're following Smurfette and James Corden Smurf, and James Corden Smurf is trying to figure out what his thing is, because every Smurf has a thing, and he ends up being Magical Smurf. Which, saying that out loud.
So is he like officially real continue. Magical, or he's just like a trickster magician? And
no, like it, like I don't know. This fucking magic. I don't fucking know, man. I'm real confused about how the world works, because once the Smurfs leave Smurf Village, they're in the real world. But then once they go inside places, it's animated again. Like Gargamel's castle is like an actual castle. People are driving by it. People are touching it and dropping shit off. And then you go inside, and Gargamel and all the humans are animated again. And I'm just like, what in the fuck is going on?
Who directed this masterpiece?
Not the Chris Miller of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, that partner duo. It's the other Chris Miller, the dude who's known for doing like mediocre children's films.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, if one of them did it, that's weird.
No.
It became such a bad movie.
No, that's why I had to explain. It is the other Chris Miller, the dude who's, if you looked up his CV, you're like, okay.
I imagine this is something though where, to keep the rights until they probably lose them, they had to make something. So nobody really cared how succinct this movie was. They just wanted a Smurfs movie so they can keep the rights for right now, right?
I mean, Sony is about to put out next year their like 8th fucking Spider-Man movie. And you're trying to tell me even they were just like, nah, we're good on Smurfs. You know what I'm saying?
We're out the Smurf game.
like even they're just like, nah.
When you only have so many properties left, you got to hold on to the ones you have, right? Well, they sold it to Paramount, you said though, right?
Yeah, Paramount bought that and Angry Birds from them. And I'm just like, Smurfs, kinda, but what in the fuck are y'all doing with Angry Birds? Like, seriously. In 2025, does anybody even still play that shit?
I, like, a year ago, was really bored, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just reinstall this. And for about 6 weeks, I was like, it was fun again, and then it's gone.
Right, like, it's the kind of game where you forgot that you enjoyed it, and then you'll enjoy it again until, anything else happens in your life.
I'm wondering if Paramount's going to do a Cut the Rope movie now. Remember that shit?
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Cut the rope? It was like candy tied to a rope, and you had to cut it so you could feed the little green monster.
I in my head, because you were talking about Sony selling them the rights to these other properties, I thought they were going to remake Alfred Hitchcock's A Rope. And
no.
What is this about?
But with Smurfs.
Now I get it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm guessing, yo, listen, Paramount, and they are hard up. Like I'm gonna be real, because they ran every franchise they've had to the point where everybody's like, no, thank you. So I'm now that Skydance owns them, I'm wondering what's gonna happen.
Did that go through? Did the Skydance merger?
Yes, yeah. So David Ellison is running that shit, and Lord help us all.
I'm telling you, I have my already. I want to go into things, not having preconceived notions, but I already have trepidations for our screening on Monday, one of the 2 weeks from Monday for The Naked Gun, because I feel that they're missing the mark already, because they're clearly not playing it straight, and that's.
I read a few reactions, so I'm not that down on it, because they had the junket screening last week, and they are allowed to tweet about it after a junket screening. I was like, all right, so it's decent. All right. And then look, they're giving us a whole hour to get drunk, so I'm not complaining. Like I'm taking
it's gonna help.
I'm chugging booze.
That's definitely gonna help.
Yeah, Matt, show up early so we could all take advantage of this shit.
Yeah, but I don't drink.
Well, then just get the drinks for me. So I don't have to stand in line.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll
alternate. So like, here, Brandon, you take mine. Next one's Jeff. Then we alternate back and forth.
I don't like Seth MacFarlane's work outside of Family Guy and Ted the TV show. Not even Ted the movie. Naked Gun, I'm not excited for it, right?
Well, Akiva Goldsmith directed there, right? He's
yeah.
Not that I'm saying I don't know how he does it as a director, but
I mean, he co-wrote it too, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's just, and I don't want to get ahead of myself again, because I know I'll talk about this when I do review the film ultimately, but it's like, and I thought, even before it was announced, like I always thought Liam Neeson would be an actual smart idea to put in a Frank Drebin type role, but he's not. But the whole point, especially of all Abrams Zucker comedies, but specifically Naked Gun stuff, is you play those roles straight, and he's clearly already hamming it up and not doing that, and I just don't know how it's going to work. So we'll see.
Oh boy, yeah. I got nothing else to say about this motherfucker. Honestly,
is it set up? Is it set up for a sequel? Like, I mean, they're all set up for sequels, but like, how obvious is it set up for a sequel?
I can't even remember.
Smurfs 2: The Search for the Magician's Assistant.
I hate that we're at this now.
Yeah,
where we're gonna get Smurfs 2 again. Just like I've lived through like now 3 Spider-Man 3s. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I've lived through 3 Spider-Man 2s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is insane. Like, I have a feeling by the time I hit 50, we'll be at like, I'll live through like 8 Spider-Man 4s.
I only have how many more years to go till that happens? Only a few more years before.
Like, Jesus Christ.
See what happens then.
So what you're saying is Smurfs is utterly forgettable.
Yeah. Like I'm really struggling to talk about this fucking movie.
I kept on forgetting that this movie existed. Right? We kept on getting emails and like trailers. Check out the trailer for Smurfs, and I'm like, no, I won't.
Yo, I think all of America have, because I saw the box office it did yesterday, and the projections for this entire weekend is 10 million. And I was just like, yeah, that sounds about right for a Paramount reboot of the Smurfs. Yeah, C+ cinema score. So I was like, oh, so everybody agrees with me. Cool. C+ cinema score. That's not good.
It's interesting to see when everybody does agree with each other, because again, I know we're about to talk about it, but Brandon, when I came home from, I know you did last summer, and I looked at people's reactions immediately on Twitter, I was dumbfounded.
Same.
By people like praising it.
Same. And then the reviews came out the next day, and the reviews were basically the same with us, man. Like, this was a great fucking pivot point here. Great transition, Matt. Thank you for that.
I didn't mean to take it over. But I couldn't help but think about it, you know?
No, man, because like I also was looking at how will this movie do, and they're saying it's going to make 15 million this weekend, which they're happy about because it only cost 12. But also, this is one where the audiences are kind of mixed because it has a B+ cinema score, and it's just like, well, like you guys, we're gonna. So fair warning, because this movie's already out in theaters, that means we can openly talk about it.
Okay,
So,
good.
Jeff,
Okay.
if you want to step away, I understand, but the third act of this motherfucker killed the entire movie for me personally.
Right. So I'm actually going to recuse myself from this conversation, because even though I had no expectations for this film and I have seen some of the reactions, I do want to go into it sort of clean. All right.
Okay.
I'm not going to
say,
I'm not going to like give away the horse. What do you call it? Not give away the barn. What's that term? Anyway, I'm not going to tell you like quote unquote who the killer is kind of thing. But there are other things.
Yeah, I guess we should not talk about it, but we'll talk about it, but not reveal who the killers are. But I guess we could just say it right now. I'm fucking disappointed, and I think that is terrible. I think it's cheap and it's obvious. It doesn't. And that too, it makes no fucking sense.
There's no character in the world, Jeff. Just like I'm out, just in case. There's no character in this world that. Again, I will do this in the most, politically safe way I can without ruining it for people. There's no way in this world that this character, knowing parts of their life, whether it be stuff you just learned or stuff that you knew before going to the movie, would do this. Period. It just makes no sense.
I think what bothers me is, first off, 2's canon. And I thought 2 they were just going to ignore, but 2's fucking canon. And it's canon because they reference it, which is a good joke. I was like, I like that joke.
Yeah.
And then the mid-credit scene, which we won't talk about, because I was just like, God damn it. Everything's fan service now. Even a horror movie has fan service. I'm like, can I just see a fucking movie and not be pandered to is my thing? And this is coming from a fan of this series.
Well, I guess that's kind of my issue too, and where like I don't know if I should give the movie a little bit of credit, because clearly they are doing their best to specifically be over the top and silly and reference these other movies and know that they're like, hey, I'm recreating this like extremely 2000s era aura of film, and I'm going to give that to you, and they're doing that on purpose. So like, even if I hate it, am I supposed to go, well, good job? I don't know.
Here's my thing. I really enjoyed this movie because it harkened back to the first one. And the first one, like I told Matt, is perfect 90s cinematic trash. Like, I'm not going to front. It's not a good movie, but it's a movie I enjoy and I find really entertaining. I love the first movie. The second one's fucking dog shit, and this was really in line with the first one, and I did like all the new characters. I liked their dynamics and everything, and I was entertained up until, I want to say, halfway through the second act, when it got to what was it, the one character who got killed first, the first person out of the main group who got killed. I was like, that's kind of sadistic, y'all. And like, this series wasn't never that fucking mean. And before that too, it started to derail me because it came time for a dream sequence where a major cameo happened and our theater just went, woo, yeah. And I was sitting there like, we're really doing this shit. Like, there's no reason for this person to be in this, especially in this moment.
But that's the way they have to shoehorn. That's the way they find their ways to shoehorn it in. And I'm actually kind of fine with that in a lot of ways. And I know people will get angry with me for being so specific and nitpicking at things, especially when it's, again, this is just supposed to be killing young people, and that's what we're here for. Even though these aren't teenagers, these are people who are, again, I know they're not, in the prime, they're not past the primes of their lives, but they should have a little bit more sense with things. And to this fact where, like, again, something stupid and silly, and it's fun. Like, I turned to you and we both said the same thing during the screening, in where there's a bridal shower, and it's fine to have a guy at a bridal shower that could be part of the wedding party, whether they be straight or gay. It doesn't make a difference. But the fact of the matter is, they clearly just have one single guy there because they had to find a way to keep him in the story, and they don't explain it. Just like, he's just there so we can keep things moving. And now I'm going to give away. This is going to give away one of the murders, which I don't think is that big of a giveaway, especially happens early on. But that's also, again, I know that a lot of these characters are supposed to be vapid and have no sense whatsoever. But the fact of the matter is, technically on the timeline they build in this movie is, and I will do this as vague as I can, technically for people who haven't seen the movie, woman gets engaged to her old high school sweetheart. 6 months later, he skips out on their wedding. And then 6 months later, she's already having another engagement party or / bridal shower.
I was thinking the same fucking thing.
And then one dude dies, and then it's just like, oh, it's okay, he's gone. I don't really care. I mean, she's horrified in the second, but like two days later, it's just like nobody. That is just
she's
so
back
ridiculous.
With Teddy.
Even for a horror film of this kind, that's just too ridiculous.
Yeah, because like she's attacked, and like right after she's attacked, she's so excited to jump back in bed with Teddy, and I'm just like, why did y'all break up in the first place then?
I mean, I know he got cold feet or whatever like that in their story, but again, just like 6 months later, she's already super in love with some guy who's apparently an alcoholic. Well, not apparently, he's an alcoholic. And she's just getting ready to get married again. And it's just so like, I know I'm not supposed to pay credence to these things in these types of movies, but to me, that is you as a filmmaker or a writer, just like, again, shoehorning things in so you can get to whatever gory or stupid kill thing you want, not caring about the rest of your story. And that kind of stuff bothers me. And now I'm too angry. Did I freeze? Are you frozen? I think I lost you. Brandon's gone. We lost Brandon.
You look like you were getting really animated. I'm still here. I'm watching the video. All right. And it's just like
I was getting really angry about like the stupidest part of the movie.
Sorry, Matt.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just glad that I realized.
No, Matt, I'm sorry. It crashed.
Right, well, that was my rant. No, man, that's a good.
Anyway. No, man. That is a good point. Honestly, I was just it is a little quick.
It's just too quick. I mean, look, and I remember. I think I said to you also because I heard from somebody who'd seen it already that it was supposed to be super gory, and it wasn't. They decided on one kill to go a little more out of the box than maybe what you would have seen in 1997 or 1998. But other than that, it's just like, there's nothing special about anything that happened with that part of the movie. There's not like for those horror fans that like look for like creative kills. Not really there.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I liked is watching the behind the scenes on the 4K Blu-ray for the first movie. Jim Gillespie even says, he's like, I didn't want any blood in this. He's like, I wanted to make something a little different where it's not like splatter blood, and have the kills not be as graphic. The studio and the producers pushed me to have blood and make it a little more hardcore. So I did it my way, where it's not disgusting, but there is blood, but it's not, fountains of blood. So I find it funny that he found restraint in the very first movie, and then in this one, there isn't over excessive amounts of blood like you'd see in any slasher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's. I know you have a history with this film series. I never really cared for it that much, in general, and I know there are people who want that, and there are cornier or kind of out of whack horror films that I do love, but I just never really got into this series. And I feel
that's what Scream's for, isn't it?
Well, that's the other thing. I never really got into Scream either. I was talking to my father actually the day after we saw the movie, because I remember very vividly when Scream came out that weekend. There was a movie theater by me that's where I grew up that's closed now, because my father and I hung out the day after we saw this movie, and we were visiting our old hometown, and it only had 2 screens. And I remember, and to tell the story where it makes sense, I'm going to hide what I was going to see, but I remember coming out of my movie and then seeing because I was 16 years old at the time, throngs of my high school classmates coming out of Scream, going, oh my God, the greatest thing ever in the world. And me and my brother were coming out of The People versus Larry Flint. So, like, that's how my teenage years were. So like, I never really got Scream also. Like, it was never really my thing. But I understand why people love these things, but it's like, I feel that in doing the homage, they went too far, and then maybe they should have at one point switched gears and maybe need something new for themselves out of this.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like they keep saying the whole movie like nostalgia's overrated. Don't look back. Don't like stargaze. And this movie does that. Like, come on, man.
Again, their meta commentary. I'm not sure if it meant what they thought it was supposed to mean.
What are you? I mean, even down to the "what are you waiting for?" I was just like, oh man.
Well, it was funny. Our friend Nadia, who's sitting next to me, when she, because they technically do it quote unquote twice, right in succession. So when she first does it and it's lackluster, Nadia's like, "Is that how they do it?" And then of course, then they brought out the real thing. So I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah,
I mean, you got to hit the same beat as the first one because she does it twice in the first one. You know, like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
The other thing about this, and this will be my last thing I think I will say because I don't want to eat up so much time, I guess, talking about a movie that I don't like, even though it's fun to talk about movies you don't like. Is that they and I get that a lot of films do this, but this one more than anything else wears its red herrings so hard on its sleeve that they are so in your face that they're clearly red herrings. And it's to the point where, like, I know we all turned to each other at one point going like, oh, well, you know, not say this is the guy. We were all like, well, this is clearly the misdirection of the century right here. And it became so hard that it's like when it comes to the point where it is the reveal of who the killers, whatever you want to call it, it's so obvious just on the fact that there's nobody else it could be. And so then they just have to give their reasons why, and their reasons why are shit.
I mean, again, spoiler for the next 5 minutes, spoiler. I really do think it's lame. Ray's the killer, and they use it as, oh, it's his trauma that drove him to it. I'm like, that's fucking insane on so many levels, especially since the first movie they thought he was the killer because he was a little creepy. And then the second movie, they painted him out again to be the killer. Like, oh my God, he's the killer. Even Brandy was like, he gives me bad vibes. He's definitely the killer. So the fact that they're going to fucking pay that off years later now and actually make him the killer after he proved time and time again he's not the killer and he loves Julie and he's there to save Julie's life. Corny. Also, them breaking up is corny too. My ex-wife.
I mean, it's also like I've been horrified and traumatized by this, and now this person I'm looking after is going through the same thing. So what's my solution? Just do everything that happened to me for them. What? No.
Yeah. What? That makes no fucking sense, bro. You look. I know somebody who was sexually assaulted. This person would not go out and start saying, okay, well, in order to teach people lessons and to heal from my trauma, now it's my turn to start sexually assaulting people. That's just not how that fucking shit works.
That's the thing. Even in the world of ridiculous movie logic, where they could come up with all these different things, whether you like it or not, as to why somebody would do something based on even dialogue from their own movie, there is no fucking way that this would be the outcome of the story in any sense whatsoever.
Absolutely. I'm seriously let down because, like, look, I was nervous going into this because the trailers were and like that first 40 minutes, I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually on the same level as the first movie. I'm enjoying it, whatnot, and we got to a certain point and I was just like, no. And then the third act just entirely, I was just like, this is terrible.
Well, especially, I mean, I know people gear up for this idea of, especially after these other the first movies in the series, there's going to have to be at least more than one person involved, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, when they try and do the first reveal, and it's clear that that person physically was never going to be able to do some of the things that we've noticed, that we know that clearly there's somebody else that's going to be there. It's just another kind of letdown in the, like, well, I've kind of already realized that it can only be this kind of person, and now you're going to go make it even further obvious that I know you already gave the barn away that it was Ray, but my brain has shut down from trying to not get upset about it.
You know what fucking sucks is, I have a feeling Sony's going to go ahead and pull the trigger on another one.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm going to end up seeing the next one too.
I mean, I'll see it eventually too, also, and where they have to find a way to get Ryan Phillippe's ghost in there. And
I was wondering that too. I was like, wait, if this person's back, then why isn't he in this? And it ain't like he's doing fucking shit right now either.
I guarantee you they're gonna find a way to go all Fast and Furious, and he's alive, and he's the killer of the movie.
I would not be surprised if everybody who was in a previous one comes back in the next one. Like, even though he's dead, would not be surprised if Mekhi Phifer came back. You know what I mean?
I see. I don't remember the second movie, but like he dies like right at the beginning of the movie, right?
I'll be real with you. I can't remember either.
Or I'm thinking I'm thinking of Scream 2. I'm thinking of Omar Epps.
Yeah, Omar Epps and Jada are killed right at the beginning.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
That's wild racist. The only two black people in that whole movie.
Was not. Oh, I thought you meant the fact that I thought you were saying I confused the two people for something.
No, not that. No, that's not racist. What's racist is having these. Yeah, but like, look, it's not as bad as the second one because I just remember the third act of the second one being probably one of the worst third acts of any movie I've ever seen. Like that. The reveal of the killers, I was just like, you guys really didn't fucking try. And that makes sense because that movie came out less than a year after the first one.
Well, I also didn't know that these were based on books, or at least the first one was.
First one, yeah. But even then, it's loosely.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just character names and like one idea of like a kill with a hook, right, or something like that along those lines. But
yeah.
I know because I know it was a character from the book, but like I am the type of person. I know this makes me sound like I'm a stuck-up snob, which I kind of am, I guess. But the fact that your character's named Helen Shivers that just irritates me. Period.
That's just 90s. That's 90s horror to me. You know what I mean? Like Sidney Prescott. That's a stupid ass name. Or even 50 Shades of Grey. Fucking Anastasia Steele? Are you kidding me? What kind of fucking name is that? Anastasia Steele.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go into like some of the things I've heard excerpts from that book and just be like, wow, like.
Oh no, I read that book.
Right whatsoever.
Yeah, I read that book. It's.
Oh, you read the book?
Unfortunately.
Oh my god, I don't want to know. All right, the bigger and better things. I don't know.
All right, well, yeah. Let me give Jeff the thumbs up. So he could come back.
Hey.
Yeah. So let's.
So it seems like you fellas really like the movie, huh?
I think it's the best movie of the year.
Let's pivot right into Eddington. I'll let you guys start off. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute.
So Eddington, it is a movie about the fragility of the mediocre white man's ego. That sums up everything.
I think there's more going on than just that.
Yeah, sure. There's more going on in there.
Well, that's one of the things I liked about the movie, though, is the fact that it spared nobody. It basically said all sides of all arguments are complicit in creating the atmosphere we live in today.
Like it's the antithesis of all lives matter. It's all lives don't matter.
It was. I remember. I remember like it was like 32 years ago that I saw the movie. I remember the problem. The main problem, because I liked Eddington at the end of the day. After all is said and done, and I think about it and I sit with it, or even sitting through the second half of the movie, really enjoying it. It's just that the first half is so, especially for an Ari Aster film, basically being kind of very straightforward in both its presentation and visually and through its dialogue. It was kind of just so like matter of fact, like, yeah, this is everything that happened. Like somebody's gonna have this argument during COVID, and it's just like I'm reliving it, and I just don't want to. I just didn't want to, and it just felt too on the nose with those things. But then as it kind of puffs up and blows out a little bit more, I started enjoying myself a little bit. But it just felt too, as it starts, it feels too reminiscent of that lifestyle, and I just didn't want to deal with it again.
Right, right, and it's a prime example of too soon, right? Because I know this is supposed to be satire, right? But
we're still
didn't
living
feel
in
it.
it.
Yeah, we're still here. Like we still see these people, and so you said you enjoyed the movie. I can recognize that a movie is good and not like it, right?
Mm.
I honestly didn't start liking it until it became a Coen Brothers film. Right? When that twist happens and everything starts accelerating, then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I felt there's a similar feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. We could have gotten to that a lot sooner.
Probably. Yeah. I don't disagree. I feel that hold on, I am just going to also I look down at myself and I realized I'm like blown out. Shake my camera a little bit. It's one of those things where I feel like, and again, I know a lot of people. I said this when Beau is Afraid came out, because when Beau is Afraid came out, I went to go see it, and I'm like, I'm not an Ari Aster fanatic. I liked Hereditary, but I'm not like, this is the greatest thing in the world to me. And I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait for his next movie to come out. I didn't care. But I'm one of the few people that I love Beau is Afraid. Did I think when I first saw it that it, like everybody else, it was a little too bloated in the middle? And it could have been sped up as well, yes. But and then upon rewatching it, I realized how fast it actually moves and how important some of those things do matter. And so I was fine with it. And I've watched that movie multiple times now. And so I'm wondering if I go back and watch Eddington, will I feel that it moves different? I think that's with every movie. Once you know it does move differently.
Right,
but I would even say, and this trying not to give anything away for people who haven't seen it. But much like you, and when you're saying turns into a Coen Brothers thing, are you talking about when there's a murder, or are you talking about okay? Because for me, even then, I felt that the point into where it really started to become something to me that I was like, oh, I'm kind of liking this in the moment, is when you get the corporate black ops, private plane,
Antifa.
Yeah, you know, like who are clearly not. They're pretending to be what they're not.
Right.
When you first see that plane, I'm just like, oh, that's so good. That's just so good. And then when it expands from there is even better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the movie I would have liked to have seen, rather than this not even slow descent that Joaquin Phoenix goes through. And it's the whole entire thing is triggering, right? Because everyone's an asshole, right? And I've seen these assholes on the street. I've interacted with these assholes. These assholes are still assholing out in the real world. And so it's just, it felt frustrating and infuriating, because at least on the internet, you can kind of engage, right?
Yeah.
Right? You can sort of be like, you are a dumb fuck, rotten hell. This, I'm just forced to watch Joaquin Phoenix have an inferiority complex throughout the whole entire fucking movie.
But I know technically he's the main character, but it's interesting that you only glomp onto his character. Well, and again, same thing with the young white kid who wants to impress the girl, and so he starts joining the Black Lives Matters movements, everything like that. But so I have this question for you then, because again, it's hard for me to talk about some of these things as being the pasty white guy. But for Michael Ward's character, are there things for you that also seem like, you know, like, are you like not being able to engage with him because you want to kind of push him, going like, what the fuck, dude, come on? Or
I want to do that with everybody in this movie, right? I want to be like, what? Like, I just want to ask why, right? I was like, why are you doing this? Like, can't you see it? And it's because we are living in this now.
I know, but that's the thing. That's what, and I'm not trying to say now you should like the movie.
Right.
And I'm sorry for cutting you, but it's like, that's one of those things where it's just like, but you're proving your own point in a lot of ways, to the point of like, and I get it. I get rewatching those things can be so irritating, especially when you are to this day opening social media and seeing people doing the same fucking goddamn stupid shit.
Right.
But and that's where like after seeing the movie, I go back and be like, he really does encapsulate like everything that we're still living through and that we're angry about, and like how can you not agree with that in a lot of ways, even though he's not saying like you agree with me that, you know, this is right, this is wrong, whatever it may be. It's just that like, why are we so fucking dumb?
Right. Like I said, it's not that I don't think the movie is good, right? Like on paper, right? If you go through the check marks, it is a good movie. I just
I hear you.
I can't fuck with it, right? Right? And like and it's really conflicted because it's I want to like it. Maybe 20 years from now, when the rockets are finally like when all the smoke is settled and we are in whatever new world order, then I'll be able to look at this like, oh yeah, that was ahead of his time. But right now it's like we're in this time and I don't like it.
I hear you. And I definitely I wouldn't say that is a false feeling to have, of course, because I get that 100%, because that is why I didn't find myself enjoying myself watching the first half of the movie. But it's like I feel myself getting finally lost in things when I'm able to like let my mind go, and like where like I felt it was fairly obvious, but I'm wondering how many people noticed that on Joaquin Phoenix's car when he has all the ads all over it that he's got stuff that's misspelled, like he's got "your" written as "you are."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Y-O-U-R
He's a fucking idiot.
Y-O apostrophe R-E when it was supposed to be "you-are," and stuff like that. There are all these little things, or like even like at the end, the Marjorie Taylor Greene joke at the end, just like it's just too funny not to just laugh at. You know, you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, but like, you know, I get that we're supposed to laugh at the fact that he's not even the mayor of his own household, right?
Yeah.
And yet he wants to be mayor of this town, and that he's only doing it out of this frustration that he has to wear a fucking mask, and that his wife kind of went on a date with Pedro Pascal 10 years ago. Right.
I mean, but they're also trying to hide that whole clearly molestation aspect of things, and you know, the fact that he sees it because he clearly starts to talk about it finally, but then because he just doesn't want to deal with it, goes back to everything else, which is how we deal with all these things nowadays. We don't want to deal with it, so we'll just kind of play ignorant and go like, right. Yeah, I'm gonna back you up. This is the problem, Ted. I almost said Ted Cruz. I can't remember the character's last name now, but you know what I mean. Pedro Pascal's character, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I can get.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Now I can get why some people really, really dig this movie. Right. I get it. On paper, yes. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's on paper. It's smart. It's engaging. It's a conversation starter, right? But in my soul, until it became something else, right? I really wanted just to fucking punch everybody in the theater.
And I was sitting right next to you. Shit.
Right, you were sitting right next to me. It's like that's why I didn't look at you, because it's like I don't want to look at Matt. I don't want to fucking punch him in the face.
I have a question for you guys, because I was not expecting to have a random Beau is Afraid reference at the end of the movie, and I'm curious if you think that it was just trying to reference the movie that the two of them made before together, or are they now trying to do a Joaquin Phoenix "I'm still here" kind of joke, trying to make you question if that's really what his testicles are like?
I mean, I've never seen Beau is Afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, go ahead. So you and Brandon are going to have to talk about that reference.
I'll be real with you. That went over my head just because Beau is Afraid is a movie I saw once, and I was like, oh, I'm good. I never need to see it again. Just like this. Like editing, I never need to see it again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Brandon.
To answer your question though, I guess maybe in some weird way, sure, because you know Ari's a weird guy. Like, let's be real, he's a weird guy. He has a lot of ideas on his mind, and that's what I will say about each movie of his is like he has a lot of ideas on his mind, and they come out in really crazy ways. Some more successfully than others, but like as far as these last two movies, I just don't fuck with him. Like I don't know who this movie's for, quite frankly.
I have a deep love for Beau is Afraid. It was my favorite movie of that year, so it's 2 years ago. But Jeff, just so you know, this is not giving anything away in either movie, I don't think. But for people who haven't seen Eddington yet, but the reference is Joaquin Phoenix's enlarged testicle. That's the
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Because that's a Beau is Afraid thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into a review or discussion about Beau is Afraid or like that. But like, and this is what's, again, I'm not telling people you have to like movies that I like or you know, this, that, or the other. But I think that there are a lot of movies, and I use Beau is Afraid as the example, that where people just go in with an idea or just see one side of it. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but they just attach to it so much that it affects the way they see the movie. Like I remember seeing somebody on social media, like a woman complaining about Beau is Afraid. It's like, oh, I just don't want to have to sit through 3 hours of some guy having a mommy complex. I'm like, yeah, I get that is technically the movie in a lot of ways. But I sit there and I go like, and I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't seen Beau is Afraid, and I'm sorry, Jeff, if I'm ruining this now.
Hey, go ahead. Just, it's fine.
But like, I love the fact that he makes a movie about a guy, and I know he has his own problems with his mother and where this all stems from. But he makes a movie about a guy whose life is literally controlled by his mother to the point that before we even know it, her company symbol shows up in the production logos at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like that kind of stuff is just so like brilliant to me that, because again, like, not that I couldn't tell, but like that revelation in the movie showing you just how she literally controls him when you finally get to that. And I think there are people who've seen the movie who still don't understand it. Don't understand that every single person that this man has had a discussion with in his life was hired to be there by his fucking mother, you know, is like such an insane thing. And there are more to it that I love. And so it's like that woman's reaction and my thoughts of the movie are basically the same thing, but just the fact that we can see it so in such different colors is why I love the fact that we can talk about movies like this. Now, Eddington is going to be something where Jeff, just like now, is like, and I 100% get Jeff's thoughts on it. The idea that he can appreciate how on the nose and how brilliantly it does it, but because it was so on the nose and that's how it does it, makes him kind of go like, I don't want to deal with this. And that's totally valid, but it's going to be interesting to see a lot of the reactions of people who are going into it not knowing what they're expecting to be like.
Right.
Why?
Because I mean, honestly, like the marketing for this is non-marketing, right? Like the only trailer I saw, can anyone even describe what that was?
It's the social media one where she's scrolling through it. Because he basically, I watched an interview with Ari, and Ari basically said this is supposed to be 2020 Twitter as a movie.
Why isn't the tagline for the movie like 2020 is so hindsight? You know, I only saw the trailer after the movie came out that has like quotes from people in it, because now that I've seen the movie, I can watch those trailers and everything like that. But even that's not going to really, it shows you a lot of the stuff from the third act of the movie, which makes sense.
Right, where he's with the gun. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, so we're talking about the soul of the movie. We're talking about, you know, people's anticipated reactions, but like the movie in of itself, right? It's well crafted, right? It's acted brilliantly. Shout out to Clifton Collins Jr., right?
Wait a second. Whoa. I love Clifton Collins Jr.
He was a homeless guy.
That was Clifton Collins. I did not realize that. You just blew my motherfucking mind, man.
Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's Gonzalo. But let me look it up. Let me make sure. But like, I thought it was Clifton Collins Jr.
Yo, give the guy the best supporting actor right now, if that's the case.
Hold on.
And I love both him and Cliff Collins. You know, two guys who are the one I'm okay with. I don't care if you tell me that they're one of them's Australian and he's goddamn playing a Puerto Rican. I don't care. Yep. Those guys can do anything.
Clifton Collins Jr. Lodge.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh shit, this starts with Clifton Collins Jr. being crazy? Fuck yeah.
You blew my motherfucking mind just now, man. Now I love the movie even more.
Right? So like when it started off real weird and desolate, it's beautifully shot. Right? I mean, it's not stylized, right? But you really do
the third act.
The third act is yeah.
Right when we get to the shootout, I was like, that's some of my favorite shit, just because of the tension and the way that it's shot.
Yeah, and that was my thing. Like for an Ari Aster film, the majority of this movie, until you get to a certain point, is very un-Ari Aster in that sense, and he does that on purpose, I believe. But it does feel weird thinking that like. It's like, where is the style that you expected, you know?
Yeah. Well, for me, my favorite shot of the movie is where he's in the middle of the street alone and the camera does that 360 pan around him. And I'm just like, this is the best use of tension and mood I've seen in a movie in a long time. So I'll give that because that was well executed. It's just
that shootout scene in the third act could have been an entire movie in and of itself, right? Yeah. That's how good that was.
Yeah,
it's interesting that you say that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, no, because I was going to kind of go off. I was going to go off topic a little bit, so you go first, and I'll follow up.
No, you go. You go ahead, man. I was saying.
It's interesting that you say that because I was talking to my co-host from Overdue Rentals, Mike, the other day. I don't know. Have either of you played Doom: The Dark Ages yet?
No.
Because I was saying, because they haven't made a good Doom movie yet. And my thought process is to finally do the right Doom movie. And based on playing that game, they should make a raid-style movie in the Doom world. So where it's just pure action, just the going out of the box craziness. And thinking about you saying that shootout could have been a whole movie just made me think about that idea. Like if they're gonna make a good Doom movie, they should make it like The Raid, just in the Doom world. That's it.
I mean, yes, they should. Well, I mean, I haven't seen Doom since it came out, right? Like the first, but wasn't there a whole entire half-hour segment that was first person?
I think there's just a short section that's first, but even if it's just it being it shouldn't be first person. Yeah, that's fun and all like that, but like to do it right, like you have to pay less attention to telling a story for Doom and just do it. Like, you have the story, have the bones of the story, but the way Doom: The Dark Ages plays compared to the way the Doom 2016, which is again they're both great. Like it just builds that feeling up even more so than ever before. That just give it just this nice flow of just pure insane action, and you're gonna have a great movie.
So do it like how they did the recent Dread, you know what I mean? Bare bones story and just make them go through it.
But even more on the action side, I think. Because I think Dread even had more than a story than it needs to be for something like Doom kind of thing. Yeah.
No, I get you.
But the Doom: The Dark Ages, actually, I'm surprised at how good it was. I really enjoyed it.
I might have to check that out, see what that's all about.
Sorry, I'm gonna be tied up in Ghost of Yoshi pretty soon, you know what I'm saying? Because Ghost of Tsushima took me 2 years, and I love playing that game, but it was also so big. So the sequel, they say, is bigger.
When's the sequel coming out?
September.
Man, I haven't even finished the first one.
Yeah, it took me 2 years, and it was worth it. That's the closest I'll ever get to playing a Kurosawa movie.
Did you put it in Kurosawa mode?
No, because
this is legit.
The black and white I love. What?
Yeah,
where it's in Japanese and it's in black and white, and I hate that the dubbing was off. And I was just like, oh, they recorded this in English. I'm just gonna play it in color in English.
I find that weird though, and I get it, and I'm fine with it, but like the Kurosawa mode is like has to be black and white because the man made plenty of not just samurai but unsamurai movies in color, and they were just as gorgeous.
Yeah, because one of his best movies is Ron, and Ron's in color, and I think Ron is like top tier Kurosawa. Just me personally.
Dude, I'll even say Dreams is worth it. You know, like.
Yo, Dreams is fucking has one of the most terrifying sequences I've ever seen in a movie. With the tunnel and the dog.
I thought you were going to say Martin Scorsese playing Vincent Van Gogh is so terrifying.
No. Nah, but that I was just like, yeah, this will actually make me dream of a fucking me being trapped in a tunnel with a rabid dog.
Oh man, I gotta go back and watch Dreams. It's been about fucking 15 years since I've seen it.
It's been a while since I've seen it too, to be honest with you. I just remember parts of it so well that it's hard not to think that I watched it recently when I haven't seen it.
Kagemusha was also in color. I forgot about that.
Which one?
Kagemusha.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Cagney Show. I'm like, what is he talking about?
No. Fucking Jim Cagney was dead by the time Color came out.
I mean, since we're on this this derailed train, this Kurosawa kick, when is Lowest to Highest coming out?
Oh, that's coming soon.
I don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, I'll see it, but like that already is like, it's because like it's like that and The Bad Sleep Well are you know because not just because they're two not samurai movies from him, but that I just have such a massive obsession with them that like I don't want to see anybody do anything with them past, even though Bad Sleep Well is technically just Hamlet, but it's just like I don't know how I feel about it. I
know because High and Low is a masterpiece. That is one of his best movies, and it's just like, ooh boy. But yeah, Matt, what is your favorite Kurosawa? Like V1, because I have mine, and if I ever got the chance, I would remake it.
It's a hard thing to say because if you asked me this 10 years ago, I would have told you High and Low. But I am that type of person that when something becomes super popular again, I'm like, it feels weird to. I feel dirty saying that that's my favorite movie.
You feel like you're jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, even though I watched that movie when I was like 14 years old. You know,
right?
It's
no, I get it.
But that being said, I do have an obsession with Ron. I always have, but it's like those were like, because that was when I was younger and I was like showing my love for movies. My father was, oh, you watch these. Like Ron was more modern. So he's like, oh, watch this. And then I'd be like, oh, let me look into what else is available. And then being that guy who thought that this guy only made samurai movies, saw something High and Low. Like that's the first thing I picked out after. And so those were like kind of the first two I saw. So those are the ones that stick with me the most.
Yeah, bro. I like all the deep cuts, man. Like when I tell people like I love Redbeard, they're like, "You like Redbeard?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. This fucking shit rules."
Yeah, see that's even deeper than I would have never pulled it out. Yeah.
Like I like watching this fucking drunk doctor fuck up and ruin his whole life. It's not my favorite, but like, yeah, I love the deep cuts.
Yeah, I was very bad when I was younger. Like I was the kid that when Nine Inch Nails hit the scene, like I was like, oh, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And I remember watching, what was it? Not Class of 19. Was it Class of 1999 where they played Head Like a Hole? And I'm like, oh my God, they're playing that Nine Inch Nails song and all this other stuff. And then I bought Broken and Fixed when they came out. And then Downward Spiral comes out and the Closer video comes out and everybody and their mother was like, this is my favorite band. So I went like, I'm not listening to this crap. And so like I went for years until The Fragile came out and going like, what was I doing? What was I thinking of? Why would I just let that go?
Like, why would you?
Because I'm a little idiot. I was a fucking
It's like
idiot.
cut off your nose to spite your face, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be a hipster douchebag.
However, though, The Fragile is still the best album that he ever put out. I don't care.
They are the reason I'm excited for the new Tron movie.
Honestly.
I haven't listened to the song yet. I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to not listen to it until the movie comes out.
You want to go in fresh.
I was a kid. I loved Tron as a kid. Sure. I just don't give a shit about Tron though. I just don't care. So
I just think it was a mistake
Tron
canceling
until
the sequel.
I was an adult. And by then I was just like, it's fine.
Yeah,
I just think it was a mistake canceling the sequel to Legacy in order to do this one. I'm like, I don't know if I would take Garrett Hudlin and Olivia Wilde out to replace them with Jared Leto. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel I have this. I don't have a love-hate relationship. I shouldn't say that at all because it's mostly a hate relationship. But because of everybody's hate for Jared Leto in general, and I'm not referring to anything apparently that because now I guess again sexual assault allegations are coming out against
9 women, dude. 9 women.
But even before that, I'm going to say just as the example, I don't look forward to Jared Leto being in movies. But because everybody's fervor gets so crazy, I feel that it taints the movie before it even comes out. And the fact of the matter is he could do a good job. He has the ability to do a good job.
Look,
it's just
the only Jared Leto I actually enjoyed was Dallas Buyers Club.
I enjoyed his Fincher films, so Fight Club and Panic Room.
I forgot he was in Fight Club and in Panic Room.
I mean,
but he was smaller parts in those, right? So,
well, not Panic Room.
Panic Room, he had cornrows, and those cornrows were done by Fincher himself. Fincher knows how to do cornrows.
That's a question I got to ask him.
He grew up in Jamaica. That's how that happened.
See,
okay.
I didn't particularly like Panic Room that much, and Fight Club. While I don't dislike it, I just that's one of those things that people just talk about it every 5 minutes like it's the greatest movie ever made. That I just don't care anymore.
I love them both.
I love Fight Club. I've always loved it, but I love talking to people who don't realize Fight Club is about latent homosexuality. Homosexuality,
yeah,
right?
Like the whole movie's a satire. Yeah.
It's like you realize this is like a gay movie, right? It's like, no, man, fight capitalism and fucking. Sometimes you just got a man out. It's like, no, that's about sucking dick. That whole entire movie is about how you want to suck dick.
But see, I saw Fight Club when it came out, so technically it was before Requiem for a Dream. But to me, Requiem for a Dream is where I first saw there's a guy. Oh, that's the guy. People used to go to me. Oh, that's the guy from Fight Club. The blonde one. I'm like, okay, I don't fucking know. But that I saw Requiem for a Dream the day it came out in theaters when it was because I saw it at the Regal Union Square, where it was an NC-17 rating. Or no, it was the unrated version, I guess, whatever they were giving at the time. Because my friend was obsessed with Pi, and we're like, we're gonna go fucking see this the minute it comes out. And I saw that thing in the theater. I remember I had a migraine when the end of the movie was hitting, and I felt like I was gonna die.
That's you had the proper reaction to watching that fucking movie. So
I've only seen Requiem once, right?
Look,
by
we
choice.
all talk about it as the movie. You see what it's the greatest movie you've only ever seen once.
Right? By choice. It's like, I don't ever have to see this again. It's a masterpiece, but also I need to take a shower and sleep for a week.
So Matt, let me ask you, how do you feel about Caught Stealing?
Okay, well, before I say that, I will say, and because I wanted to tie in Requiem for a Dream to Jeff's feelings about Eddington, too, is slightly. And it's more so for the discussion I had about that woman's reaction to Beau is Afraid. And again, it's one of those things where there are plenty of people I know who are obsessed with Requiem for a Dream, love it to death, whether they've seen it once or multiple times. But it's a movie and or a story, because this is the same thing for the book, that where I don't think people really realize what that movie's about. Just like you're talking about Fight Club too, and granted, I get it. I'm not saying they're missing the point of the movie, but Requiem for a Dream is a story, and I'll say a story because again, it goes for the book too, where you can succinctly surmise what it's about in a sentence, which is hope is the most addictive drug of all. And I don't think people latch onto that enough. I think they just see about the downfall of people, not realizing that it's about I know it's depressing to say that. It's depressing to say that you shouldn't have hope kind of thing, because I don't believe that. But that's what that story's telling you, is the most addictive thing you can have in your life is hope. And that's fucked up.
Well, hope in the wrong things, honestly. That's what it really is. Hope in the wrong things.
But it could be hope in anything, because if you can't make it there, it's just going to destroy you. It's just going to destroy you if you never make it. You could have the best intentions. There could be no other additives on there. And if you don't, that's your life. That's especially when you're young and things don't turn out the way you want it to be, you've now mapped up your entire life where nothing's going to happen the way I want it to happen. You know, I know that's so depressing. I'm sorry. So caught stealing. I don't know. I'll see. I only know so much about it. I don't think Darren Aronofsky, even for the movies that he's made that I've enjoyed, like I enjoyed Black Swan, even though it's basically just live action Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I love Black Swan, man.
I do too. But
they're putting that bitch back in the IMAX, man.
Unlike Requiem for a Dream, where it's like you don't go back because it's tough to watch, I just don't feel the need to rewatch Black Swan kind of thing.
Really?
Same thing with Wrestler. Same thing.
Well, yeah. Go. I mean, come on, man. Wrestler.
But like Wrestler, I've watched several times, and I don't know why I do it to myself.
Because you're just fucking sadist. Because
it's just so fucking sad.
Well, I mean, there are parts of Black Swan that I enjoy rewatching, even though they are again visual ripoffs in Perfect Blue. Like the paintings coming alive in Black Swan compared to Perfect Blue. I love the Black Swan version. That's the kind of stuff I look at. I'm like, oh, that's dopamine right there, just seeing that. But I don't feel like sitting through the whole movie just for that. You know, I'll just go look up a clip kind of thing.
Look, I love the movie, and I can't wait to go see it in IMAX. But Caught Stealing, I know you don't watch trailers, but the trailer makes it look like his most commercial film that he's ever done. It's not going to have any type of theme. It's just a dude on a wacky quest through Queens.
It's after hours 80s punk version.
Well, no, this takes place in the 90s.
So it's just punk version.
Right. This will be the 90s Queens version of After Hours.
Okay.
Yeah, this takes place in the 90s.
Okay.
So
I only know so much about it.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what he does with his first truly commercial film.
I know it's Matt Smith.
Because Noah was big budget, but that is not a commercial film.
I know it's Matt Smith. Is it Zoe Kravitz?
Yes.
And it's Austin Butler, right?
Yep. Yeah. He's the lead. Vincent D'Onofrio is also in it. Liev Schreiber is also in it, and Regina King is also in it.
Here's my thing, and I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I don't care for Austin Butler. Don't understand it. I think he's an overactor. I think most people are overactors.
You didn't like his performance in Dune?
No.
Really?
Didn't like his performance in Elvis?
Really? I liked his performance in Elvis.
His performance in Eddington was fine, but he's hardly there, so that's why I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that I can't and finally at one point enjoy something. I just don't really care for him. So I don't know how it's going to make me feel when I see the movie.
Well, this is a good pivot back to Eddington, because this is a question I want to ask you, Matt, as somebody who really liked this film. What was the point of Austin Butler's character and Emma Stone's character? Like, what was their deal? Like, that was something that just completely went over my head.
Just, I mean, look, he's literally just showing you the boiling pot that, again, not to say that the world we live in today is different than it was X amount of years ago, and I can talk even 70 years ago. It's just because social media exists that a lot of craziness kind of is a little more noticeable now. And things have changed in a certain sense, though, to where people's sensitivities are through the roof. And there are two parts of Emma Stone's character. Again, the point being that she was clearly molested by her father, and her mother tries to cover it up by going into more conspiracy theories. And it just shows you that where her mind is trying to broaden out, she's just getting caught in her own conspiracy theories from this other guy that is the whole Pizzagate section of the movie, technically, without being the Pizzagate section of the movie, where there are clearly things in the world that are wrong and that do happen, but not to the extent that these people think they do, and then they just turn it into their own source of income, to where they are taking other people's traumas and horrors and turning it into the Deepak Chopra guru of child molestation, in essence. And that's what Austin Butler was, and it makes her happy, and so she goes along with it. And that's the Matthew Schuchman rambling version. I can come up with a much more clearer and concise version of it, but that's just the rambling version of it.
I mean, that was pretty clear and pretty concise. So
Yeah, I mean, to me, you know, I guess I can't really talk about this without spoiling part of the end of the movie, right? But
Yeah.
like
Everybody here's your warning.
Right. So when Emma Stone, when she reappears and she has the child, right? It's like a bigger fuck you to the Joaquin Phoenix character, right? Because that was one of their sticking points is he wouldn't even she wouldn't even let him touch her, right? Meanwhile, she's got a full on baby with fucking Chris Angel, whatever his name is, right? So
it's I mean, I didn't. That's the thing in where if you wanted to speed this up, you could have taken Austin Butler's character out. You could have had her just leave.
Yeah.
Instead of having to have her like fall into this cult thing, or you could have shown it in the background, but be more like the Natalie Portman version from Darjeeling Limited, where there's a short film on the side if you want to get a little bit extra.
Yes.
Right.
We just talked about that actually. I'm like one of the only people who actually likes that movie.
I like that. I don't love it, and I don't. It's harder to sit through than some other stuff, but I like the movie too. I think I do love the movie. Specific, and I love the whole sorry, my brain just shut down. Playing with fire section. The Rolling Stones playing with fire. You know, like when it gets to that part too, I'm like, I feel like maybe he's losing it, and then he brings it right back with that and just keeps it going. So I enjoyed it too.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Look, I got nothing else to add about editing unless you guys want to talk about the epilogue, which I was just like, sure.
I mean, it's just another. And that's the other thing about the movie that I will say that was tough in watching it in real time, because you're so used to going into a movie, not to say that it has to be political, not to say that it has to have like a point of view that like you agree with or something like that. But it's like usually your protagonist is not the kind of guy that you hate in the real world kind of thing. And you start to wonder, am I supposed to agree with any of these people? When you realize you're not, it gets confusing to be like, I want to kind of say that I enjoyed this, but now I feel dirty almost saying so, because now I'm agreeing with a conspiracy theorist in the real world. Because I'm not trying to say that there are not multimillionaires who control certain things, whatever it may be, but because it is like, you know, like, oh, this guy realizes how he can turn this character now to be his savior, and he's not going to talk, so I don't have to worry about it, but people are going to vote for him, whatever it is. So it's hard kind of wanting to appreciate those parts of the movie, because I don't want to come now talk to some guy about the movie going like, it just goes to show you the Rothschilds and George Soros and the Kochs, you know. It's like, I get it, but it's like, I don't want to put credence on that.
Well, whenever I hear anyone say, well, actually, or goes to show you, I automatically know I'm not going to enjoy this conversation.
Well, actually, Jeff. So yeah, I mean, that's the best. That's the best I could talk about it with that. However, okay. Spoiler, everybody. Do you think Michael Ward is setting up to shoot him at the end of the movie, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I think he's just trying to get back into some semblance of normality after what happens to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to talk to Ari about that character specifically. As a black dude, I would like to talk.
That was what I was saying earlier. So tell me though. Tell me. Pretend I'm Ari Aster. I'm Jewish. Ish.
What were you trying to say with this character, and why? And why specifically is he black?
Well, see, that's, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to now create a wider conversation about it, because I don't know, and that's where I was interested too, because to me, in a lot of ways, I feel that maybe that was the one character that we were supposed to go, okay, I not necessarily agree with you, or I'm going to follow you as my hero character. But the idea is like, yes, I'm sure there are plenty of people that want him to be more proactive in one way or the other. But the idea is just like, maybe that's the way we're supposed to be. Just be like, yeah, I care about things, but in the same breath, it's like, all right, let's go on with life. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So to me, the Michael Ward character is, how in politics right now, Black people are just brought out as showpieces, right? Like
Good point.
if Michael Ward's character had said, I'm not Black, I'm OJ, or something like to that effect, I would not be surprised, right? It's the entire idea of us being post-racial, but the thing about being post, which we're not, but like the only thing about being post-racial is you still have to realize that, I am a different race.
Yeah.
Right? And, the fact that he is being groomed to take over as sheriff and stuff like that, it is Joaquin Phoenix's sort of like, well, I can't be racist. I'm giving him an opportunity. Right?
I would have, and I don't mean to turn this down to something else, but I would have asked for you because we were supposed to have Michael on the podcast. But what happened was he had to change his time, and that was the one day that I couldn't be available at the time that they could have him talk to us. So we missed talking to him. But he was supposed to come on and talk to us about it, and I feel I'm really pissed off we didn't get the chance to talk to him now.
I honestly, I wouldn't. If I had time to talk to Michael Ward, it wouldn't be about this movie. It'd be about Empire of Light.
That was the Over Rental. It was going to be Eddington and Empire of Light. That's literally what we were going to talk to him about.
Like, I would ask him straight up, be like, you did that because you wanted to work with Sam and Roger, right? Because otherwise, why the fuck did you make this movie?
What's funny is that I had not seen Empire Light until we were going to talk to him. And that was the first time I saw the movie. I didn't get to see it when it first came out.
Yeah, I got a screener for it because the screening that we got, it was like literally 3 days before I had to vote across every guild. And I got that screener, and I was, thank God. And I'll say this, thank God I got the screener. I didn't have to leave my house, because if I had to leave my house to see this motherfucker, I would have been pissed.
It was a movie that was confused with what it was trying to be a movie about. Because technically, Olivia Colman's your main character.
Right.
But Michael's character has also so much of the burden of the society on his shoulders. But it's also a movie about cinema, but it's not about cinema because they don't focus on it enough.
Right.
It's just kind of in the background. So like it didn't know what it was trying to do in a lot of ways.
And then Colin Firth's taking advantage of Olivia Colman for the first half of the movie. It's very, very weird. It's very weird. They bring in the racist skinheads, which I'm just like, I don't know if that was needed. Like, we kind of get that between the relationship with Olivia Colman and Michael Ward anyway. Yeah. What a waste of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross also.
It was lost in trying. I'm not trying to assume, but I feel like it's like, because who wrote the movie? Because Sam didn't write the movie, right?
I think he did. Let me Google.
He did?
I think he might have been a co-writer.
So it was like Sam going like, I want to make my version of Cinema Paradiso, but not actually care about the cinema section of it.
Yeah. I'm very conflicted on Sam Mendes, man.
Well, I know we all. I mean, basically, it's weird because technically, if you want to think about it,
he did write it. He wrote it. He wrote it himself.
Okay, there you go. So talking about your confliction about Sam Mendes, because it's like he became a thing. Both him and Alan Ball together became a thing with American Beauty, and then everything they've done after, whether they're good or not. Alan Ball specifically, it's just like I didn't care about anything he did after that. Like I didn't like anything he's ever done on the HBO.
Well, you didn't like the fucking vampire love show,
True Blood.
True Blood.
I had a girlfriend at the time that loved that show, so I was forced to watch it. I wanted to stab my eyes out and my ears. I didn't want to hear any of it. Oh my god! So, oh god, no, I hated that show.
Yeah, but American Beauty is also not good in retrospect because now you're just watching
It isn't. Because
you're watching a 40-year-old man prey on a fucking teenage girl.
Cinematically, I still enjoy a lot of stuff from that movie.
Fair.
And granted, yeah, you're watching that, but in the same breath, with all these things, like I'm not condoning anything. Don't get me wrong, but like if it's a story you're trying to tell, it's the story you're trying to tell, and there's a point to the fact that you're not glorifying it. So like I can watch it. Like that doesn't. I'm not going to be able to not watch things like that. That's fine. I can deal with it.
Also, the plastic bag, like, isn't it so deep? And it's like, no, it's not fucking deep.
Well, I think that was the point, though. That was the point. It never really was. I think that was a misconstrued by a lot of people that they thought like it was supposed to be. I'm like, well, I mean, yes, you can still make that connection and go like, oh, the idea that it's filled with air, but it's still empty and all this other stuff. But this point of like, it's a teenager who doesn't
trying to be deep,
talk about life, trying to be deep, you know?
Right, like a teenager who hasn't lived life, trying to talk about life. And I think we're looking, we talked about people look at these movies the wrong way, like, or construe it differently than it was intended, like just like Fight Club, like these guys are not there's not the hero in this, right? The main character in American Beauty is not a good guy, right? Like he may be going through some shit that we all kind of go through or will go through, some midlife crisis shit, but also don't try to fuck teenage girls.
Well, American Beauty is also my great example, not my great example, but one of the great examples for people who like don't want to look beyond just what's in front of them as far as titles go, because we understand, what American Beauty, and it's not, it's kind of dysfunctional, all this other stuff. But I don't think people also realize that it's a genus of rose. It's actually the name of a type of rose, is the American Beauty. And so, like, for people who don't want to like actually like go into and look into like how one thing can mean multiple things, like I love using that as the example.
You just schooled me on something. I had no idea that was the type of rose.
Yeah. My father was big into roses. Well, he still is, but he doesn't plant anymore. But he used to love
that's why it's all over in the movie and the marketing and shit like that.
Yeah. So now it makes totally perfect fucking sense. It's got two meanings. It's got, oh my God, it's two meanings.
We got the double entendre, guys.
There's art. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's art.
This is art. This is art.
Sam Mendes' best movie is based off a comic book, and it's so overlooked. Hell yeah, that movie is so overlooked.
I love that movie.
That is an overlooked masterpiece.
I don't, honestly, besides those two movies and the fact that the James Bond movie he did, and Empire Light, I can't remember. Oh, wait, he did Revolutionary Road, right?
I've still never seen it because so many people are like, it's trash.
Is Revolutionary Road the one with the domestic terrorists?
No,
that's Arlington Road.
Arlington Road, which is a good movie.
No, it's not.
It's a good movie. It's not a great movie. That's a great popcorn put on the background movie. Arlington Road.
Fuck that movie.
Revolutionary Road is the Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, I like Jarhead.
I think, right?
Because I'm looking at his CV. I was like, Jarhead was good.
Jarhead was good, but the marketing. It was the marketing that fucked you, right? Because you went in, it's like, it's going to be a movie about, the war in Iraq. Is like, no, it's about the warriors in Iraq who were bored. And
I feel like Jarhead, the movie, perfectly misconstrues what the book was in terms of, like the way even the Marines themselves see the service. I think it bought into its own idealized vision of what it's supposed to be, which was the opposite of what it was supposed to be.
I mean, I'm looking at his CV now. Like the only two movies of his I haven't seen are Revolutionary Road and Away We Go. And Away We Go was the John Krasinski, Maya Rudolph movie. Otherwise, like after that, it was Skyfall, Spectre, 1917, and Empire Light.
1917.
Holy fuck! How do you find?
How do you nosedive like that?
But here's my thing: how you follow up 1917 with Empire of Light? That's fucking wild. Now that I think about it.
I didn't dislike 1917, but I think it's so overrated. I think people just love it because they go, oh, one shot and all this other stuff.
That movie's fucking fire.
I just don't care. I just do not care at all about 1917.
Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of his movies. It's like they're either really fucking good or just really like, sure, man, sure.
You made a movie.
Like he's made a banger Bond film and a Bond film. I'm like, yeah, cool. I guess, man, if that's what you wanted to do. So that's like his Bond films. His Bond films are how I view his CV. It's like, oh, cool, really great movie, and then also like, oh, cool, you made that.
I don't know. I find myself more and more, because when I was younger, and I still have directors that I love, even if they've trailed off or don't make anything anymore. But I find myself more and more just like, I just take everything as it comes. Like, I wait for it to come out. I don't care who made it, whether I like them or not. I'm just going to give it a chance and see what happens. And then, yes, I will use their career prior to say why I think this movie's even better or worse, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't have like that. This person's making the movie, I'm going to go see it much anymore. Edgar Wright, no. I'll do it for Edgar Wright.
It's Nolan and Denny for me. Anything they make, I got to go see.
See, I think most of Denny's films, they look great, but I find them very, very, very vacant in a lot of ways.
Blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
It's like, I don't like, especially, I mean, look, I never had much love for Dune as a story in general. And granted, I know Dune, the story itself, was revolutionary and created a lot of the tropes that we deal with now. But because I was so used to them by the time I was introduced to Dune, and I like, again, it's like, I you know, like, oh yeah, they're the Freeman. I get it. You know, who gives a fucking shit? I just don't care about that story at all.
You gotta relax before lightning strikes, bro. Next thing you know, you gotta have locusts in your apartment. Fucking walls gonna start bleeding.
Then even I'm not saying he's a bad filmmaker or anything like that, but like most of his movies, like I just don't. And Nolan, I've always loved Nolan. And again, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I was ahead of the curve like that, but like, and I grant that I didn't see Following when Following came out, but I saw Memento. I think I went to a midnight screening of Memento.
Yeah, that's where I think everybody who's a big Nolan head discovered him was Memento.
Yeah, it's like
Memento was revolutionary.
That was like, so like, I've been following forever, but I don't think Oppenheimer's a bad movie, but I just don't care about much of Oppenheimer, and I think that it's
that's blasphemy.
Not the most well put together movie in the world.
You are out of your fucking mind.
I'll see the Odyssey when it comes out. Look, I remember because we sat next to each other for Oppenheimer, or I think we were like in the the sections across from each other.
Yeah, we were in the sections across from each other.
I don't know if you remember or not, but like some guy, like as they're getting ready to shut off the bomb, some guy like came and stood right behind us because it was pure center of the screen. He wanted to be at the center of it, and none of that, visually even, was that exciting to me.
That's fucking wild.
And I thought, and it's just like, and the same thing happened with Sinners too. It's like when you see it, and even though we saw Sinners on the faux IMAX screen, or I did at least, because you're seeing an IMAX, you get all of the different aspect ratios and a much more grander scale of things. And it's like there are shots, both in Oppenheimer and in Sinners, there are shots that are the same scene that are the different angles from it, and one's darker than the other, one's grainier than the other. There are aspect ratio changes for no reason and for like 5 seconds. I mean, I know they're for a reason because that's the way they were shot, but it's just like, it's just so like the fact that it changes so often, more so in Oppenheimer than Sinners. Just, it feels like it's so, it takes me out of it. And this is the fault of the projectionists, because I don't know if you guys remember or not at our Oppenheimer screening, that he clearly was not ready to project this thing because he was not clearing any of the hairs out of the gate. And like at one point it looked like somebody shaved their pubic area like all over the film.
I didn't have that problem with our screening for Oppenheimer. I had that problem with a screening of Interstellar recently where I was just like, you didn't do your proper job, my guy.
So ridiculous.
Nah, but
yeah,
you know
it's
what?
just like,
Maybe Matt, maybe from now on, maybe when they give us the options between IMAX and a regular 70 millimeter screening, maybe you should just take the regular 70 millimeter, man.
well, I'm definitely going to do the Odyssey in IMAX because he's shooting the entire thing this time. For the first time ever, somebody's going to shoot an entire movie on the shit, which means there
Because
should
they
be no
finally
aspect
made it
ratio changes unless he's doing it
feasible.
for specific reasons.
Well, it's because it's feasible because he's shooting on IMAX film cameras that can actually allow a whole movie to be shot that way.
How much is each roll in this camera?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Wow. So it's not that different. How the other ones?
But it's not as loud. It's not as loud, and it's faster.
Oh, they were able to get the sound down a little bit. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll see it. I'm not gonna go in saying that maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know.
Oh, no, I know it's gonna be great.
But
mark my words, nigga.
I've seen a lot of people say this recently, and I get it, and I don't disagree. I agree with it because cinema is a visual medium that you can like something because of the way it looks. But to me, I still adhere to the fact that content is king, audio is queen, and picture is a lowly subject. Granted, I want a great picture. I want things to look beautiful. But if I can't follow and I can't understand, and I mean when there's a story being told, granted, there are films that are meant to be more abstract. That's a different story. But when something is not meant to just be abstract, if I can't understand what's going on and I can't hear what's going on, why do I care what it looks like?
Well, what movie makes you feel that way?
Oh, now that I'm put on the spot, what can I say? I don't know. I mean, Oppenheimer may be one of them.
Well, you feel that way about Oppenheimer. I feel that way about Beau's Afraid.
Beau's Afraid's so good, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Look, so fucking brilliant.
He even said it. He's like, it's Lord of the Rings for Jewish people, and I was like, fine.
But it's, you know what, being for Jewish people doesn't have anything to do with it. Granted, yes. And look, I even wrote my review for Beau's Afraid. The first 3 paragraphs are about a personal experience. And granted, I say Jew, quote unquote, ish, because I don't believe in religion. So technically I'm not Jewish because I don't tell people, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Judaism as a national, whatever, my brain's
racial identity.
It's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Israel, it's a religion
itself, free Palestine, 100%. You know, that's the kind of person I am. But I grew up in a household by a woman who, I say woman, my mother, but was believed in religion and said like I'm a Jewish woman kind of thing. And the first 3 paragraphs of my review of Beau's Afraid is telling us, recanting a story about how when I was 20 some odd years old, so I moved back to my parents because my mother was sick. She had cancer. And so I was helping out. And I was dating a woman who lived in Manhattan, and she was upstate visiting her family. And I got a call from her at like 1:00 in the morning saying like, I can't be here. You got to save me. And I got up and I wrote a note saying, oh, I've gone to best to save her. I'll be back tomorrow or something like that, right? And I, did what I thought was a cool 20-year-old heroic boyfriend thing. And I drove without knowing, because this is, I went to MapQuest and I could print out thing, but there was no GPS.
Right,
and I was
right.
remembering for the one time I went to her father's place how to get there. And I get home the next day and I'm all fucking puffed up. Oh, how cool am I? Or about that. And I come into my mother fuming. Is like, what are you doing? What if something happened to you? It's like, if you didn't write a note, I wouldn't have known where you were. And I'm like, that's why I wrote the note. And so like, and I'm not comparing my mother to Ari Aster's mother or Patti LuPone in Beau's Afraid in any way whatsoever. But it's this idea of like, there is this aura. So yes, that's the one part of like the Jewish mother that I could say, like, if you've never experienced that, and granted, there are people, Chinese mothers, black mothers, there are histories of the way families are brought up. I get it. But I still think you can attach yourself to understanding what's going on in Beau's Afraid without being Jewish, and and all this other stuff. And the Lord of the Rings thing, because it's the journey. I get it. But once I realized what was really going on in that movie, and then just trying to reconcile my own feelings for this character, knowing all of this, yes, there are parts of Beau is Afraid that I like because of the visuals, and only because of the visual. I am obsessed with that guy trying to hang on to the ceiling and then falling down. I think that's the note, the way it slides into the door, which in the short version he made in the movie when he was in college, it's that same thing, the way that note slides into the door and reaches his bed to say, why are you being so fucking loud? I love the way that looks. And yes, that is just a visual thing that I'm attaching myself to. But I attach myself to the whole of that movie, not just one portion of it. And again, while I love Oppenheimer, while I like Oppenheimer and think it's a good movie, I don't attach myself to all portions of it.
See, I do. That movie to me, top to bottom, is just well executed, a masterpiece. Probably one of the best edited movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
I felt that he also, and I think somebody recently said this, and it may have been,
I think it's Cameron. I know what you're about to say, Big Jim.
I think he pulled his punches too much when it came to showing the horror of the bomb being dropped.
I think we got it, man. I mean, that's the whole reason for the speech in the auditorium.
Yeah, but that visual, I thought it looked silly. The skin, I thought it looked silly. I did not. And I thought that the minute I saw the movie, I didn't have to wait for James Cameron to say something.
Nah, bro. You see, that's where we're gonna have to split off, because like, I get what you're saying for Beau is Afraid, but I still think that movie's some bullshit.
Yeah, no. I'm not trying to say that you should automatically not should like it because the way I said anything about it, of course. But I do feel that even for people who dislike it, I feel it's just because they're not allowing themselves to like it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It sounds so wrong. I don't think you should. If you don't like something, you don't like something. I get it.
So what you're saying is
I was looking forward to seeing Beau is Afraid. Like, I went to the Lincoln Center IMAX to see that motherfucker, and we got halfway through, and I was just like, "Yo, God damn, what are we doing?"
I saw that. You know where I saw that? I saw that at the Technicolor screening, on that little screen at the Technicolor screening room.
Jesus.
Which is talk about Clipse. That's one of my least favorite places to go, is the Technicolor screening room, because the fucking walk over to that thing is so annoying. Anyway.
No, listen, I like the screening room where we were at for Another Simple Favor, because it's right around the corner from Digital Arts, and it's so much nicer than Digital Arts, because Digital Arts is so tight.
Where was it?
It's on 27th Street.
Didn't we see that at Digital Arts?
No, because Digital Arts. Yeah, because that screening room is Dolby Atmos.
Yeah. Okay, one. It's called.
And they give
something.
you snacks. Yeah, and they give you fucking snacks.
Yeah, Hub One or something like that. Yeah.
All my old favorite screening rooms are all gone. Even though Magno never had the greatest screening room, just
Magno was cool. Broadway.
Yeah,
but Broadway.
The one I miss the most is the original Sony screening room.
Yeah. Let's give it up for that. They had the couches in the back. Every seat was big.
The singular swerving chairs.
Yeah, the seats were so wide and so comfortable. Yeah, and they replaced it with a screening room that holds like 10 people. Plastic. It's a pain in the ass to get to.
And then the WB screening rooms now are great. The problem is they only screen, every so often randomly they'll say they screen a lot of stuff there, but for us, it's only randomly they decide that's where it's going to be. But that's
you guys they spend mad money keeping those open and never use them ever.
I'm sure they do plenty of stuff, but it's all internal. It's all, like this, just the company people coming by.
Right.
But the size of that room is that, because that you could have that as a regular theater for other theater goers.
Yes. The Universal screening room, which is the old Warner Brothers screening room.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the projectionist, and I like him. He's a good dude.
Everybody is.
It's a good, I like the sound in that room, but that is the most uncomfortable room in the entire fucking city.
I don't know about that. I will tell you that. Were you ever in the old Universal screening room?
Yeah, I remember that motherfucker. Yeah.
Where it had the one random row in the back by the bathroom that was in the theater with you.
Yep.
Those seats were uncomfortable.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but that was tiny though. That room was built weird because the screen is like 50 feet away from the first row, so you're all the way. You're like the audience and the movie are so far away from each other.
I was doing interviews for As Above, So Below. And that was the last screening I was ever at that screening room for. And I was the only person in the screening. So I sat in that back row where there's also 50 feet between the rest of the rows. And then so like the screen's like a mile away from me. Because I just thought it'd be fun because I was the only person there. I'm like, I'm just going to sit all the way back here. That was weird. Yeah.
That was a weird room. That was a weird room. And it was like in an office building. Like everybody there is working at some different ass company, and then randomly they have this universal screening room.
Well, I mean, look, the universal screening room now, that's a regular office building. Park Avenue's in a regular office building.
Yeah, but at least those are on ground floors. Like you don't have to take
you don't have to go up
elevator
to get to them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that I understand, but like, yeah, Park Ave's in trouble though. I keep hearing they might close.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Disney's screening room still, right? Which so like,
no, because Disney has Hudson Square now.
Oh, they do? I didn't know about this.
Have you haven't been there?
No.
Yeah, they have this. So they recently opened they own this whole building in Hudson Square. And they have this whole screening room. This is one of the biggest screening rooms in the city. Holds 300 people. The motherfucker is huge. I went there to see a complete unknown. It's insane. And apparently they don't want to use it too much because they don't want to get it ruined.
So why?
Why'd they pay that much fucking money to have that fucking screening room? I don't know.
That's dumb. Because I thought if they were still on Park Avenue, it's like they don't have to worry about paying. Like, who gives a shit? The amount of money they have.
No. They that is just a general screening room. Disney hasn't owned that for like years
since they called it Park Avenue. But I still thought they had a stake in it for some reason. I don't know why.
Nah, man. That's just a general screening room now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
All right, gents. Any closing thoughts on Eddington before we wrap things up?
Wasn't as good as Beau Was Afraid.
Okay.
I'm good on Ari Aster. I'll be real with you. I'm good on you, dog.
I will have one more. This is less about Eddington itself. And I apologize. I know because I have to go too, actually, but because I had this discussion with somebody recently. Because I think right around when Jordan Peele started making movies, right around the same time Ari Aster started making movies, right around the same time that Robert Eggers started making movies. And I don't care what you think about Robert Eggers' movies or not. Because even though I enjoy his movies, I feel that I'm disappointed even in Nosferatu, Northman kind of stuff. Because I feel like Robert Eggers is a guy who started off broad and then kind of narrowed his vision to be much more, not to say that they don't look great or like that, but as far as films go, he just felt like he's going more mainstream compared to Jordan and Ari, who are widening their stream a lot more and being broader and taking bigger swings in a lot of ways. And I just find that weird. I find that weird that Eggers is kind of narrowing himself and these guys are kind of just going like, well, I'm going to make what I want to make and take those broad strokes. And I appreciate Jordan and Ari for doing that compared to Robert, who doesn't seem to be following suit.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Most people don't agree. I don't know why, but it's true.
At all. If anything, it feels like fucking Ari's the one who's narrowing, honestly.
Interesting. I think with Eddington more so than everything else, yes. But to say Beau Was Afraid is narrowing to mainstream, I don't think so.
Well, not to mainstream, but to a specific audience.
Oh, see, I'm just talking about more of just generalized ideas of what movies are, kind of thing. Compared to
I don't even think Nosferatu is a mainstream movie, though. It's definitely his most accessible, but for that to be mainstream, I think it's too dark and too weird for mainstream audiences.
I don't feel that it is. I guess I feel it was. My problem with Nosferatu was like the same thing. I think I've talked to you guys about this. It's like whether it's Nosferatu or Dracula, that story has been told so many goddamn times. Whether you want to take it that was from her point of view or not, I don't care. He didn't do enough to change that story to make it worthwhile to me. I just felt I've seen it so many times at this point that I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah,
again.
but then what would you do? Because then if
I don't know. I'm not saying I could do it better or anything like that. I
get what you're saying, Matt. Like, I think he was more invested in the execution, right? Because the story is on rails, right? The story is however many hundreds of years old.
Right, and you can't really fuck with the sauce there.
Right. So I think he was more invested in the technique of making this,
but I felt like
which is fine.
Again, I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I still thought it looked great and all this other stuff, but I still feel that it was nothing special in a lot of ways.
Disagree, but so you're out on Werewolf?
No, I mean, I'll see. Again, like I give everything its chance. I'll see what happens when I see it.
All right. I mean, I guess you're going to be out on... the only time I'm feeling Eggers is going mainstream is this Labyrinth sequel that he's attached to, which I'm just like, don't do that shit, man.
Yeah, nah. Like, just stay original. Like, don't...
Like,
because
also, it's been so long. Like, I don't know anybody who's clamoring for a sequel to fucking Labyrinth.
Well,
they're out there, but you don't want to hang out with them.
But like going back to like you asking me like a movie that I thought, you know, like where the visuals were a lot better than anything else, and that's why I like the movie on. Lighthouse is a great example. I love Lighthouse. More so for
Lighthouse
the visuals than anything else.
Literally a mood piece. Like that is a mood piece, man.
But
like,
I love Lighthouse.
Yeah, Lighthouse fucking rules, man.
You know, it's like that's like you make that and then you go and make The Northman, which granted I know has a little bit more out there stuff here and there, and everybody's great, the tracking shot, which I think is great. Don't get me wrong, but you basically made Hamlet with Vikings, and
I mean, no offense to Nordic people, but a lot of Viking sagas are like Hamlet. So, like, again,
sure. But it didn't wow me. It didn't do much for me.
I mean, I'll say The Northman, I think, is his weakest movie, and I'll just say, and that's coming from somebody who really fucks with it. So,
we'll see what happens with Werewolf. That's what I'm going to call it.
All right, thanks, Matt, for coming on. Is there anything you want
to promote, guys?
No. This is what happens when you get film nerds together.
Is there anything you want to plug?
Just go check out Overdue Rentals. I've been very laxed on putting up some of our recent episodes. Unfortunately, guys, I'm sorry. Our last episode up was Sovereign with Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay because I've been very busy. But the rest of them will be coming up very soon. So finally, our Mandy Patinkin episode will be coming out shortly. And we have what else do we have after that? We got a whole bunch of stuff that'll be out. So go check out Overdue Rentals, everybody.
All right, Matt, we'll see you at the Naked Gun. Help us get fucking wasted. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Nord, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.